Day 3. Let's get it. So over with the box, guys, we got a pair of the 1.5 Restomods in this Knicks colorway. And honestly, man, like, the 1.5s to me is just such a classic model, right? Like, the thing with this shoe is that, like, the 1.5, I feel like you put any color blocking on here and it pretty much goes off. I mean, the toe box, whether it's white or it's a different accent color, always looks nice. And I think just for this particular colorway, I mean, it just really shows how versatile this shoe is for fitting no matter what team it is that it's for, right? Because you can think of like the away Chicago ones, and it fits. Like, I would really love if they did like a Brenda colorway for the 1.5s. But, before we get talking about some of those pieces of it, let's just look at the shoe from a performance standpoint and from a tech standpoint. So, the Rose 1.5 Restomods, of course, has some updated tooling to it versus the original release. The original release had just a regular EVA midsole, but these have a light strike midsole, which means it's just a little bit more plush, but that plushness does not remove the court feel that was so special about the 1s and 1.5s from their initial release back in 2010 and 2011. So look at this shoe. The thing that you will notice is that this upper right here, this is the same sprint skin upper that has like an almost like suede-ish type of material for the upper. It's kind of mixed with that, the synthetics of that. You got this nice leather here on the toe box. You have the sprint frame here in the heel, which this is meant to keep your foot locked into the footbed, so your foot doesn't go anywhere. Of course, got that 3 stripes classically placed here on the back of the heel so that you see it as you can also raise up the back of their foot. Last thing you see is D-Rose blows past you. I mean, like I said, always, that's that storytelling piece that I really loved about the Rose line from the start. Of course, you have the Adizero branding still here because originally when these were released, they were the Adizero Rose 1.5s. And you have Derek's signature there as well, too. You have Derek's signature right here, too, on this little pod piece as well. Same thing like with all the Restomod releases. It's not the same implementation of how it was on the OGs, but it, still the effect, and it's not like a bad thing. Moving your way on down to the traction, the outsole of the shoe, it has that pure motion setup, which a lot of people, really liked because it gave you a lot of great court feel. These cellular traction surfaces or pads right here also were a big part of that. And truthfully, no matter what court I've played on, dirty or, super the cleanest floors, the dustiest floors, like all the Rose 1 and 1.5s have always been really good for traction, and I've never had any issues with them. The other thing, too, that I really do like about the 1.5s from a performance standpoint is I feel like they've always done a pretty good job of locking my foot down into the footbed. The sprint frame, I've never had issues with the sprint frame. A lot of people I know that have played in any Adidas line shoes that have a sprint frame on them have found them to be very painful because they make the shoe very narrow. But again, I don't really have a super wide foot, and so I've never had that issue. And so it's kind of like, that toss-up. It's a, hit or miss thing. Something I almost didn't mention here on the tongue is just like on most Rose 1.5 shoes, you have the D and the R here, which is, Derek's old, like, kind of signature to some degree, or old logo, you could say, that's hidden in, like, this magic pattern because D-Rose likes magic. It says Derek Rose at the top with the tongue, too, which is cool. And, yeah, like, something I think that would have been cool with this shoe if they want to take it just, like, a step further is that how, like, for the Bulls, the home colorway originally had 773 on the tongue because of the area code. So I think it could have been cool if they kind of did a little homage to that and, implement that here on the shoe. But I will say, outside of just the color for the shoe, they did do something to the insole, which I do appreciate, which it says, Big Apple, and it says Rose NYC, and you have the 4 there as well too. And so some people that maybe didn't follow Derek throughout his whole career maybe don't know that when he played for the Knicks the second time around, he wore the number 4 compared to the first time when he was with the Knicks, he wore 25, which was to homage Benji from Chicago. The thing is, guys, like, some of these storytelling pieces, they kind of go missed. Like, not everyone really is going to have the same level of appreciation for it as others. But, something that I do find cool is that, going just that extra mile just really, I think, makes a difference in what makes, certain colorways more hype to to have and want to, you know, get versus others. Because even like too, I think just another little nice design piece that, you know, didn't have to be done on here is the splattered paint look on the midsole. That's not something that, you know, they needed to keep. They could have had it still be that blue, but again, that just adds an extra line of dimensionality to this colorway and this release that I really, really digged. You know, the Restomod line of Rose 1.5s has been phenomenal. I can't really think of a single colorway that's come out that I've not been really happy with. And even like the newer colors, like that's something I have had a lot of fun with, is seeing these new colors of this line. And again, it just, you know, makes a difference. And even, you know, the 1.5s had retros before they did the Restomods, and those had some really cool colorways as well too, that were exclusive to there. I'm mainly thinking of like the there's like the beige pair, which is pretty cool. And I can't remember if I've reviewed those on this channel or not. So if I haven't, you know, you can look forward to seeing those sometime this month, guys. But so yeah, let me know what you guys think of this shoe down below in the comments. You know, have you played in this shoe before? Is it a shoe that you really liked hooping in? What's your favorite memory of D Rose and the Rose 1.5s? Man, if you were to ask me what my favorite memory of him hooping in the 1.5s, it's hard to say, because he wore the shoe throughout most of the playoffs. And he wore, you know, in the second half of the season after the All-Star game. I'm trying to think of what I would say, just so I can give you guys an example. Man, dropping 44 against the Hawks in the playoffs in the second round at Atlanta, that was pretty dope. I like that. That's a good memory of these. He did the crazy spin in the playoffs, was in the crazy lights. I think he had a game winner in the 1.5s. Honestly, I guess too, the other thought I have whenever I think about the 1.5s is the dunks he had against the Heat. Those are really dope as well too in the playoffs. That game 3 down in, I think they were both in game 3 down in Miami. It could have been game 4, but you know, just taking off. I think he had about like 3 plays of like back-to-back dunks. One that was a fast break dunk. The other one was the split in the defense over Udonis Haslem, and then you had oh, I just played it in my head. I forgot though, because I said it first. But you had 3 really cool back-to-back dunks, basically back-to-back dunks. At least my memory of it, against the Heat, and that was dope. But yeah, let me guys know what you think down in the comments. You know, if you guys want to participate, please share your pictures on Instagram using a hashtag DRose Sneaker Challenge. I love to see them. You know, I'm gonna keep sharing my boy posting his reviews and posting his shoes, because out of all the people I know that like love D Rose and have like D Rose collections, I'd say his is the only one that I sit there and go, you really doing something, man. 'Cause he got colorways that, man, I wish I had. I just wish I had of certain models. But yeah, then like I said, I'll see you guys tomorrow for another review. Until then, peace. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.